This was huge news this week.
Oh, come on, Bobby. What do we call it? Huge news.
There was nothing else happening.
I don't have a Wi-Fi issue. I got to plug in a phone. I'll be right back. But I'm listening, Bobby. Go ahead.
Me too.
Well, Bobby's going to tell you about the huge news this week. I'll be right back.
We might have been able to. We might have been able to
disappear too.
We might have been able to kick around like Tatum's Olympic comments, what Beal's saying. I don't know, something some guy said on a podcast this week. But we got legit hard news that Yam Madar is on the Summer League team. That's
I don't know if that's hard news, Bobby. I don't know.
No, he's officially going to Vegas. He's on the team.
You know? That's hard news. That's hard news in a number of ways for Bobby. For one, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But I'm interested to see Yam Madar in the Summer League because for one reason, I want to see this guy against NBA talent. Before I get all listen, and I'll say this about my YouTube highlight reel theory. It is an important theory, and it's something that I do follow, but I do have to scale it a little bit. I have to scale it for when it's against guys overseas because a lot of players can look good overseas and they come in the NBA and it's a completely different story. So that's why, to me, I will be definitely locked on to Mr. Madar in the Summer League because I just want to see if he can hang.
If this guy stayed in Israel for like 3-4 more years, I don't think anyone would have been that stunned. I think there's a clear signal that he could be on the team next year, especially with the roster space that they have. They could give him a real NBA spot.
I know, but is it a signal based off of his ability and talent, or is he basically Tremont 2.0, filling out a roster spot here?
I don't think that matters.
On a team that's going to need bodies.
Exactly. I don't think that matters because it's a second-round pick. It's a flyer, and if he's great, then you hit the lottery.
But that's the thing. It's a flyer, but we are now – I mean, we've done this before. Like, you know, we've done the Yabusele Zizic, like, you know, mystery man who plays overseas.
That's why it's important to get him over here and get him developed and get him in Maine and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we got Yabu over here, and then we wanted to send him back. You know,
there were problems with Yabu that aren't present here.
Yeah.
I agree. Get him over. Get him over here. See what you got.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm just
make
not
him
gonna
move one way or the other. You know, because at the end of the day, you want to figure out what you have. So I'm all for it. But like John said, I mean, we're talking about a guy who's most likely the 15th guy on, you know, in the rotation here.
No, he's not going to impact the team next year, probably. But you do project some of the skills he has. It's a good.
I get what you're saying, Bobby. This has sort of been the progress has been expedited a bit. You know, you were expecting this story to drop a year or two later, but. I mean, honestly, when you think about not having training camp last year, not having summer league, I mean, maybe we would have been having a similar conversation a year ago. But of course, we didn't get a chance to see all that. So I'm interested to see what he looks like. Obviously, I want to see how he plays, how he shoots. I think that's one part of his game that certainly has improved because that's what they're saying, right? I mean, that was a part of his game a year ago that didn't look as promising. We'll say a year ago. But you know, he played one season, 30 games in the Israeli league. He shot 46%? No, 40%? Excuse me, not 46, but what was it?
He struggled from three, but improved overall in both the areas there.
He improved overall, he was closer to 40% than people expected. So
he had some big scoring games.
It all comes down to whether athletically, that's the problem with these guys. You never know. Like he looks very quick and twitchy. He's got a good handle, but it's going against that competition. You know, how's it going to translate when everybody is an elite athlete? You know, those guys tend to get lost if they're not at that level. If he's a guy who relies on quickness and athleticism at this level, more so than that, you know, but he does. He has long arms. He's an aggressive defender. Some say over aggressive. Which
I'm interested in that shot.
And then you got to see a shot, but the stroke doesn't look like it's got a hitch. Doesn't look like anything is wrong. He looks good in the clips that you see. It's just you have no idea. You put him up against NBA talent. Can he do any?
Right, which we have to wait and see. But I think what looks good so far is obviously the reviews and the off the court stuff. Right, I think it was Keith Smith had Jay King rather. What was his teammate? He had a one-on-one with his teammate who played an entire year in Israel with him. A much older guy, someone who's been around the block, you know, has played with other guys that have made their way over to the NBA, and he says that this what separates him is his attitude, his work ethic, you know. So that's always a good thing.
He's got some fire to him.
He's got some fire to him, right? Like when I hear someone's work ethic who's that young, who's eager to learn, someone like almost like what we've been hearing so much about Pritchard, right? Something along those lines. That's always a good sign. But I got to see it. I got to see what he looks like.
Sam Vecini wrote a glowing, and this is the strengths. We can get into the weaknesses, which is mostly about the shot. The inconsistent shot there, but you hear some of the positives here. It is encouraging. The competitiveness, high level motor, energy giver, never stops pushing the pace and tempo, transition, great on defense at the point of attack. This isn't a guy.
Sounds like he would have stuck out like a sore thumb on this last Celtics team based on everything you just said.
Yeah, he's got the great length.
And what I mean
some
by
fiery
that
moments from him.
What I mean by that is
we got it, Jimmy.
Anybody on the Celtics who did any of that.
But listen,
they could have used him. They probably could have used him.
We got it, Jimmy.
Vicini's had
a stunk because they
what I mean by that.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. Good joke.
He's like, no, I don't think Bobby gets it, guys.
Because Bobby didn't laugh, so I figured he didn't get it.
Well, I'm trying to get this part out because this is what really makes
He's going over his notes. He's reading his notes, Go.
This is what makes me really encouraged here because, Vicini's on our network. He watches these international guys all year long. He's skeptical. He's dubious of these guys. He's not watching this tape and saying, like, oh, this guy looks great.